the leaders are changing. If we don't see overwhelmingly that their leaders have gone behind William Ruto, if the people who are outspoken, one of the stalwarts of Western region is Musalia Mudavadi. If we would have Musalia Mudavadi supporting William Ruto today, or speaking well of William Ruto, Moses Wetangula, even Tuoli, we would say that the region is seeking to shift. It is shifting. But these are the recognized leaders of that region, and they have influence. You cannot tell me that the MPs who are in Jubilee, sorry, you cannot tell me that those people will be influencing the ground, because they've been with Ruto ever since. And their being with Ruto has not changed anything. The status of Western region is still the same way it was some many years back. But when you look at Raila's side, most people who are coming behind him today were his very fierce critics initially. But today, they are endorsing him, or they are coming up to and proclaim that they are supporting him. In Western, the guys who are there those years, and even those who are in Jubilee, even the time when ANC was taking the niche seat during the by-election, and Kabuchai was going to Ford Kenya, the status quo of the leaders are still like that. So what are the indicators, Nani Mwango, if you will tell us that the region is shifting? So that is the reason why, according to my take, is that the guys who went there, or the multitude that were seen, those are people who are curious. They came out to see what the deputy president, they are kind of theatrics and oratory skills. He's a very good speaker, and nothing much will be gained out of what is what was seen today in terms of the crowd. But you realize, I just wanted to mention that so that Mwango I can bring to light how you can know that the region has shifted. The same way, last time I didn't just find chance. You also said that the coast has now moved. But what are the indications? What are the indicators? When you see all the guys, like my brother here said, that people were donned in uniform, you know, those are crowds that have been ferried from all over coast. And you see the DP has a lot of financial muscle. People are being ferried all the way from Taita, Taveta to Kilifi, you know, in buses, so that they can show the might. And the other thing is, William Ruto right now is desperate to show off the politics of perception. He doesn't want to be seen like someone who is losing. He wants to be seen like someone who is either still at where he was, being a person who's been campaigning for the past 9 years. He wants to show that his status quo is still there. He's still loved. He doesn't want to show. He doesn't want it to appear that he's losing ground and Raila is gaining. And that's the reason why, even in the opinion polls that are being shown, it was just in Central, but it was showing you that from 95% initially, William Ruto now only has 50-something%. You can imagine. And by the way, my brother, Raila Odinga has not started campaigning. He is still collecting and organizing the team that will come out there to begin campaigning. There will be a time when Raila Odinga will also be, showing the marshals in future in terms of crowd. And that is when you will know that actually the ground has shifted where Raila Odinga's presence wasn't there before, and he still maintains his grip in places like Western and Coast and even in Nyanza. I think that is all for now. Maybe later on I can I will add more, but if there is any question.
Thank you so much, WG. We give a submission so that now we open the floor. I want to give to Pius Mwenda.
I've not contributed. I've not said anything.
Yes. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Go on.
Good evening. Acha kwanza nianze kwa kushukuru nyinyi kwa kutupea hii nafasi kueleza Wakenya ukweli yenye iko na pia kuchangia maoni yetu. Mimi about Ruto na ground tunamuelewa tu ni ule tu mtu wa numbers, ule mtu ananuange MPs na ni MP awasaidie kwa kitu yoyote kwa mbunge. Pia hata hii ground tu yenye ananunua.
Can I speak?
I think hata hii
Can I speak?
Ngoja huyu amalize. Someone is on the floor, my friend. Just hold on, your turn will come.
Can I speak, please? Can I speak?
There's someone on the floor. Just hold on, your turn will come.
So I think hii namba still Ruto ananunua ya pesa itamsaidia tu the way tu ile namba ya nini ya MPC imsaidiangi. So itakuwa ni ile namba ya kuimagine kulingana na mimi ndivyo naona tu itasaidia. About Raila CS na nini, I think kila mtu anataka kukaribia mali serikali inaenda na hakuna mtu anataka kuachwa nyuma. Juu hata mkisema Mount Kenya ni 7 governors, I think they are more than 7. Juu tukiangalia ile time Raila alikuwa Murang'a, hata kama Mwangi anasema anaomba hiyo kiti ya president, still alikuwa anamuunga na mkono na walikuwa pamoja. Ukiangalia pia kuna time ni kama Mutahi Kahiga alikuwa ametuma apology kwa meeting fulani yenye hakuweza kufika. So I think Raila Mount Kenya ni kama ana control governors wote, ni kama wako under yeye wote, I think for now. So hakuna mwenye anataka kuachwa nyuma ya serikali. Ndio hata tukienda outside Mount Kenya, ukiangalia the 3 governors of Ukambani ni kama wote wanamuunga mkono wote. So Raila ni wakati imefika na hakuna mwenye anataka kuachwa nyuma kwa hiyo serikali yenye inakuja. Kulingana na maoni yangu. Ni sawa, nimemalizia. Nitaendelea hapo kwingine na mbele.
Okay, thank you Mwenda. Kevin.
Hello. Can I go?
Yeah. Good evening to me.
Is that Kevin?
Can I go? I've not spoken.
Hello.
Kevin, yeah. Who is that speaking?
Tisa, I've not spoken.
I'm here, Mr. Tembe. This is Kevin. Yeah.
Oh, it's that's Kevin.
Yeah.
Tisa comes first and then Kevin, right?
Fine.
Okay, Tisa.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Tisa.
Good evening, Tisa. Karibu mkubwa.
I'm fine, guys. I also just want to weigh in on the topic of discussion. But before actually I even talk about really what the discussion is all about, I also want to say that when Ruto goes out there, or Raila goes out there, and then a crowd go there to him, let us not belittle this by saying that they have gone there to see, like yesterday somebody was saying they go there to see Mzee, how old he is. Some people are saying they have just gone there to see Ruto, how he can be a good orator. Not really. Kenyans are hungry. Kenyans are economically injured. They want to hear from their leaders what their leaders have for them, because these are the leaders that they elected or they entrust, and they believe that when they speak, something happens. But you see, when you go to listen to these leaders and you listen to them, they keep on saying the same thing all the time. They keep on lying. Then you get dejected. But you know, Kenyans never learn. They still just come and listen to your lies, and they will never tell you today you are not coming. Like you know, in Western today, the DP took part of his time, actually 90% of his time, talking about BBI, and I was like, really, this thing is now water under the bridge. Why don't we talk about what this man is going to do next year if he takes over? Or rather, why don't we hear him talking about what he has done, so that we can be able to see how best he can do it again when given time? But if you keep on talking about BBI, something that we have actually even forgotten, we are now focused on how we can be able to bring this country together and talk about the future. So it becomes boring, but then that is the politics of the country. Then two, I also want to talk about what happened in Kisii. Guys, political intolerance is something that we cannot actually really embrace. Today, you know, I listened to Junet Mohammed when politically he attacked Osoro and said that Osoro has never spoken in parliament apart from asking where the washrooms are. But then in his rebuttal, Osoro is now calling Mohammed al-Sabab. So it simply means that everybody with the name Mohammed in this country is an al-Sabab, according to Tangatanga. Now you can see they want votes from these Muslims. But at the same time, when your name is Mohammed, or rather, when your name is bearing that Muslim name, then you are an al-Sabab. So it tests at the kind of people surrounding the deputy president. And I think the DP should call these people to order and tell them to really have political tolerance and talk as leaders. Lastly, to the topic of the day, we are talking about the 3 CS who have actually rallied behind the former prime minister. I listened to Matiang'i. Matiang'i has never ever come out openly to declare his support for anybody running for president. I listened to the man, and you see, this is a minister for interior. So when he says that he has read the ground, he has intelligence information. But anyway, all of us who are in this forum, we know how ground actually has even shifted. People have been told lies over and over again until they want to really be able to know.
Can I speak, please?
But why must you cut me short?
Excuse?
There's someone on the floor. There's someone on the floor.
Why must you cut me short?
It's okay for us to wait for someone to finish and then your turn come. Just be patient. We all want to speak. But you can't speak, but all of us can't speak at the same time. So let's just allow the person on the floor to finish.
Unless he has a question for me, maybe I can take a question. I'm flexible.
Do you have a question for Tisa?
I think he's a guest who does not know how to come in. So please, let's handle him with some leniency.
Tisa, are you there?
Yeah, I'm almost concluding.
No, don't worry. You'll have your time. I think it's Kevin. Kevin, just hold on. You'll have time. It's a debate, so you listen to other people, and then also you'll have rebuttal, and then you'll also have your time. So let's just be cordial. Okay, go on, Tisa.
I'm almost winding up. Now, you saw the CS, those ministers actually are giving their support to the prime minister. Guys, these are people who have been in the government. And I really want to disagree with anybody who would say that when they support the government or when they support the president, when they support the prime minister, then they have been sent by the president. People, this is a democratic country. This is a democratic country. Maybe the people they have read the mood, they have read the ground, and they have known that really the country, people are behind this man because of what he stands for. The very, very last, and this I will want to speak to those who are supporting the deputy president. Still, what happened in Western today, guys? We all listen to the deputy president. I have a speech. I have a video of him speaking for 11 minutes. The guy is praising the Jubilee government, and he's saying that they have done a lot of work, that he needs to be given time. That is actually after I talked about BBI. That is when he's in Western. But when he goes to Central, he tells them that Jubilee government has failed, and therefore is the only person who can fix the mess. That is the kind of person we have. That is the kind of leader that we have, who is never consistent. So if we can be able to have a leader who speaks from both ends of his mouth, then I can tell you this country, the question we can ask ourselves is, in whose hand will Kenya be safe after 2022? Thank you very much.
Tisa, you had to finish with that only statement. Tisa, if we'll allow Kevin to give his submission, and then
I have a question. I have a question for.
Oh, you have a question. Hold on, Kevin. Yes, Mwango.
It was Tisa who talked right now.
Yeah, Tisa.
Okay, Tisa is saying that Kenya is a democracy. Yes, I agree. But Kenya is not fully democratic country. Still, we are a young nation. Democracy in Kenya is still on trial, and we know that. We know that if those who are in government support Ruto right now, even those CSS you are saying now, one of them just turn to support Ruto, you will start hearing cabinet reshuffle. The CS will be removed from the post. You will see DCI, EACC on the door, and they know very well, and that's why you see they're playing safe. And even Matiang'i knows very well that he has some land scandal somewhere. And should he try to support right now, that land scandal will now resurrect.
Mango, can I give him an answer right away?
And you start hearing Matiang'i going to court for some scandal and everything. So I'm telling you that.
Can I give an answer right away?
Yes.
Can I give you an answer right away because you're asking me?
Yes.
Now, I'm talking to. Okay, fine. I've known you, my brother. We have got MP. We have got ministers who actually have been supporting William Ruto. The one that I will mention, his name is Keter. Keter was only replaced, actually removed from the ministry that he was serving in, that is the Ministry of Energy, because of scandal. There was nothing like he has been supporting William Ruto. You are talking about people the people surrounding deputy today, including Echesa, are people with the questionable characters. But you can see they are moving around. If the government of Kenya wanted to deal with Ruto in terms of those who are surrounding him, I tell you, the guy would be walking alone today. Between 2013, in fact, after 2013, I want to tell you this. The CS, the constitution is very clear that the CS is not supposed to take a political stand. I also know. But remember 2014, 2015, 2016, even 2017, the CSS that brought Ruto and Uhuru back to power took political stand, and Ruto saw nothing wrong with that. So it has become a tradition that sometimes we suspend the constitution and go by the tradition. So the truth of the matter is that if the government of the day had, if the government, let me finish, I'm answering you. If the government of the day had to go hard on people surrounding the deputy president today as we speak, all of them would be in jail. That is a fact. So let's not even go there. Thank you.
Tisa, you know very well that Matiang'i has some scandal, some land scandal, Luaraka land scandal. Why do you think that thing is silent right now? And I'm promising you, should Matiang'i, and Matiang'i knows very well, should it try to support Ruto right now, that land scandal will be very active.
No. Mwango, you are
Will be
lying.
very active. And Matiang'i is hiding. And that's why he's going there to handshake.
Mwango, you are lying.
I'm not lying.
You know why? You know why you are lying? You know why you are lying? This is why you are lying.
Yes.
It was whose baby is that? Is it your baby?
Ni Mwango's baby.
Yeah, I have a small baby here.
Okay, mute kidogo, because the baby is crying a lot. Yeah, just mute kidogo. Now, Mwango, it was the same Kipchumba Murkomen who, on the floor of the parliament, said that they saved Matiang'i from the land case. Now, the deputy president has said he has 150 MPs supporting him. Why haven't they gone to parliament to bring a motion of no confidence on Matiang'i on the land issue? It is the same Murkomen who said that they are the ones who protected Matiang'i. So when you're saying here that, oh, he has issues, he's being protected by the government, you're also lying. It's good for us to say the truth. It is the same Murkomen and the people who are supporting the deputy president who said that they protected Matiang'i. So if you have 150 MPs whom you are, banding around that you have 150 people, but you can't, you can't make influence any sensible legislation in parliament. What are they for? If you don't like Matiang'i, go to parliament. You have issues, he has a corruption case, go to parliament, institute a motion of no confidence in him. Now,
so
I think we...
As I hand over,
yes,
as I read my case,
yes, sir.
Not so long ago, the MP for Nyali wanted to move to parliament to deal with Matiang'i. And remember, DP is saying that he has got over 150 MPs. This is the same Matiang'i that Mwango is saying is corrupt. I wonder why they are saving a corrupt minister. Yet they have the power. Thank you.
And it is the same Mohammed Ali who said some of his friends refused to sign. Some of his friends, the 150. Mwango, if you are coming here,
Kenyans, we have a problem, eh?
Yes.
As Kenyans, we have a problem. And our problem is, regardless of how somebody is bad, when that somebody supports you, then it becomes good. And that's the problem we have. Now Matiang'i is bad, but because he's on the side of Baba, now you are trying to, is good. But
no, Matiang'i
today was to be on the DP side right now.
Mwango, you're not getting the point. Your side has said they have 150 MPs. Mohammed Ali has come and said he was looking for signatures to go and impeach Matiang'i. The deputy president has said he has 150 MPs. Why hasn't he gone to parliament and instituted a motion of no confidence in Matiang'i and impeach him? We have said, if you say, and it is Murkomen, your own MP, who has said that they protected Matiang'i.
So Themba.
So let's be honest. Let's be honest. When it comes to pursuit of justice, the person who claims to have the most MPs should be the one who should be on the forefront of instituting the process, which starts in parliament. And if he has 150 MPs, then he has the power to say that you guys go in and impeach this guy. He hasn't done that. Have you questioned him?
And even the judiciary is on their sides nowadays. Why can't someone move that direction?
Anyway, let's move forward. I want to bring in Kevin. Kevin, it's your time.
Thank you, Tabi. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Kevin.
Yeah, I think to the topic of the day, we're talking about the 3 CSs and the 7 Mount Kenya governors. I think if you look at what is taking, people are moving towards where they're seeing where is the government heading to. So those who are in the current government want to ensure that they still continue in the next government. So this is exactly what they're doing, so that they can be in the next government. And at the same time, if you look at what has happened today, what Raila is doing, he is ensuring that whenever he moves around in the regions, he'll ensure that he has to bring on board the rivals. If there are rivals, for example, if you look at what happened in Turukana between Wujes and the other guy, then you look at what has happened today, Ongwe and Matiangi, so what happened to in Yambu, bringing the two guys together, so that these people don't cause damage to his votes in these regions. Consolidation of all these regions is ensuring that all the regions are intact. Those who matter in these places, at the end of the day, they work for him. They don't antagonize one another, so that at the end of the day, the votes will be scattered. This is exactly what he is doing. And at the same time, when if you look at the DP, what happens or whatever he moves, as he moves around, he's a man of double standards. He'll say, he'll talk positive about the government, then in another forum he'll be talking negative about the government that he's part of. So most of the people are worried and watching it and saying, what does this man stand for? He's telling us the government has done this. Next, he's telling us, oh, the government has not done this. I am going to do this. You ask yourself, what is he doing? What is he going to do that he has not done as the deputy president of this country? Then you ask yourself another question again. When you look at the guys surrounding him, the likes of Didmat Barasa, the likes of Didi Nyoro, the likes of Soro, you look at these guys. If the next government is formed by some of these guys, who politically, most of them are still juvenile. They're young politically. So you look at them. What experience do they take to the next government to run the next government? So you look at it and then look like there is no government that will be in such a kind of situation. So that experience that Raila has, he knows how to muscle numbers and the rest. But with the DP, is still struggling, and some of these guys are elusive. They're running away from him. At the end of the day, we don't know how many of them, but still, in my own observation, by maybe April next year, there will be very few guys going around with the deputy president. And at the same time, he concentrated a lot in the Mount Kenya region, thinking that Mount Kenya region is the one that is going to deliver the votes. So he forgot about the other regions. When the Raila has gone to the mountain, he's now realizing I need to go out there, move to the coast, move to Western Kenya. So under these regions he's moving around, these are regions that were well covered. They've been always traditionally supporting Raila. So Raila is now working on how do I get a few or a chunk of Mount Kenya votes to my traditional regions. So this is the problem with the deputy now is in the panic. He's panicking as he moves around, and he has been in this field for a long time campaigning for 2022. Whatever he was delivering to the Kenyans is has lost the test. He has nothing more to offer to the Kenyans. If you look at what he says, sometimes you wonder, does he have any agenda for this country? So I think if the people who are surrounding him, they need to tell him to take a stand, either to be out of the government or to be yes, to be in the opposition or to be in the government. You can't be a man of double standards. It does not work. You will end up at the end of the day losing everything. So as we continue, I think we will see more people moving towards Raila and more running away from the deputy president. I think for today, That is the much I can say.
Okay, any question,
Unless someone
Mwango?
Hello? Yes, I don't think who was talking? Who was talking
Kevin.
right now? Kevin.
Kevin. Mm.
Okay, Kevin thinks that more people
Yeah.
will go to Raila and few to Ruto. It's a matter of wait and see. So as time goes by, as for me, I see people will be crossing. Others will be going to Ruto. Others will also be going to Raila. So far, I've not seen somebody who have crossed over from Ruto to Raila. What those who have crossed, those who have gone to Raila, those who are still on the fence, those still who are still undecided. But I've not seen the person who has left the Asla side to the other side. Only those who are still, in fact, nobody has left. In fact, the Team Kieleweke are still Team Kieleweke together with ODM. The Asla nation is still intact the way it was. And in fact, Asla nation received Gadoni wa Muchomba from the other side. In fact, it is us who gained from the other side. And there are some MPs also who have crossed, who have crossed.
Can I answer this guy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mwango.
Yes.
Do you really believe in opinion polls?
Opinion polls can, I think that we don't believe in so much because this is Kenya and we know that some are being paid to do some opinion polls. We know that.
Now, let me ask you. When Ruto was having 85%, over 85% in Central Province early this year, did you see that opinion poll?
Yes, I saw it.
Now, recently an opinion poll came out and Ruto was having 57. Did you see that one?
I saw it.
What is the difference between 57 and 85?
You subtract, you get the difference.
So where have these people gone?
Well, as in as much that you want to claim that Ruto is dwindling in Mount Kenya.
No, just tell me, where have they gone? Does he still have these people, or these people have left him? We don't know where they have gone, but they have left him. Isn't it?
They have left him.
Yes. In short, you know, when you subtract a number from a number that somebody had earlier, it means it's going down. And when it's going down, where is he going down to?
You mean that they have left him just for Raila Odinga, or for any, as in those who have left Ruto have gone to Raila Odinga? That's what you mean.
What I mean, it would be probably because those are the two people who are ahead, and they are really serious contenders.
Now, I will also request you.
So you see, if you are looking for individuals, the masses are also individuals, and it can be quantified.
Now I will also want us to conduct opinion polls in Coast, in Eastern, and in Western, so that we also know if Raila has gained or Raila has lost, so that we count and we see who has lost more and who has gained more. But just one region, you know, you have some kind of assumption that Raila's base is intact, everything is there, is intact. Only that Ruto, that base is now going down, not knowing that also your bases are also going down, and that's where you lose.
That is assumption, because let me tell you one thing. Central has never been Ruto's stronghold. He was campaigning there. He camped there. If you know, a stronghold is somewhere you don't even bother, like in Rift Valley. Have you ever seen him campaigning in Rift Valley? That's where somebody talks of a stronghold. Central is a swing region. So when you are up and now you are down, it means in that swing region, you are down. Coast is a stronghold of Raila, a traditional stronghold. Even when he was in opposition and that is his stronghold. Nyanza is his stronghold. Western is his stronghold. Nairobi is his stronghold. You see? Ruto has a stronghold in where? In Rift Valley. Central is a swing region now. It's not a stronghold of anybody.
Mwango.
Yes. Yes.
I think as per the last speaker, if I may ask, how many regions or stronghold did we count for Ruto in Kenya?
Ruto.
Apart from, I'm asking Mwango that apart from Rift Valley, which other regions do we call strongholds for Ruto?
Yes, now because the politics has changed and now there's no stronghold for anybody. People will vote based on the person with the best economic model. So we don't go tribal that now.
No way.
People, you want to bring that
Politics
picture
in
of tribal,
Kenya.
of tribe things, eh?
Mwango,
Of tribal
politics in
that now
Kenya.
these are the blocks, these are the tribal blocks, and that's where we are going, and we are changing that narrative. Now it's
It will
not
never
there's
change.
nobody stronghold right now.
Mwango, it will never change. Politics in Kenya is tribal and it is terms of regional. So there is no time that you'll say about models or what. People don't go for those. They go for who are our tribal chiefs. Huh?
And then why do you think we are
that
seeing
is
now
what
now?
people
Why
will
do
go
you
for.
think so?
Let me tell you, there are things that politically, there are traditions that you will never change. Whether you come up with models, you come up economic, I don't know what. That is the reason as to why. If you go to Rift Valley, the Kalenjin know very well our kingpin is William Samoei Ruto, and you cannot change that one. Nobody will turn out that one. If you go to Luo Nyanza, they tell you our kingpin is Raila Odinga. So you cannot change these things and tell us models, tell us what. Some of these things we just imagine about them. They are not there. The only thing that is
So
that
you
is, that
mean
is
that
why you cannot divide the Kalenjin nation. Say, oh, there are people for Gideon, there are people for Ruto. It is Ruto and it is Gideon. So why that's why I was asking my question. Apart from Rift Valley, which other place can we see this is another stronghold for Ruto?
Umbati, can you give me 1 minute? I talked to him too.
Yes.
Oh, thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Thank you, Tim. Okay. Mwango,
yes?
if you see Ruto in Western, what he's actually doing is to try to garner the votes that actually they garnered in 2017 when they worked together. There is nothing is actually going to subtract from the vote that Raila Odinga got in 2017. I think I should remind you that you guys have believed in people like Aluali, that when they speak, you believe lawyer has spoken. Today you saw when Aluali stood to speak, he was shouted down. Yet that is the person that you guys believe in. So you can see clearly that what the guy is doing in Western is to be able to get, actually he's trying to increase the number of votes they got in 2017. But unfortunately, it is not going to be the case. He might maintain the votes or they might decrease. You cannot convince me today, Mwango, that Kenyans will vote on issues. The only Kenyans who might vote for on issues are the Kenyans who are seeing today arguing here. These my people on the ground will actually vote based on where one comes from. So don't be cheated. Let's now go to Kisii, my brother. There is no way you can tell me, and you know that in 2017, Mwango, Kisii and Nyamira produced governors. Two of them who are in ODM, but unfortunately, they didn't produce even a single MP on ODM ticket. It is clear the system did what they could do, and you wonder why would they vote? Why would they vote for a governor on ODM and deny the same county MPs on ODM? The system did what they could do, and they wanted the numbers. Two, let's go to courts. Just as my friend has told you, there are places which are traditionally for a certain politician. You cannot change that fact. You can't. Actually, Ruto can go to coast and do his politics. Raila needs only 1 day in coast to remind them where he has come with them. Lastly, in Central, where you guys, I believe you come from Central, it has
No.
never been like this before. It has never been like this before, Mwango, where Central can discuss who to vote for. It has always been, we are voting for this person, and it is something that is pre-planned. This one is different, where they are disagreeing on, can we vote for Baba? Can we vote for Ruto? This one tells that the place is a swing vote. It is not a block. It is a swing vote. And that's why Ruto will always go to Central. Have you ever wondered, Mwango, do we only need, is Central the only place where youth needs wheelbarrow? Is Central the only place where youth need empowerment? Is Central the only place where churches need to be built? It is so simple. The guy is trying to ensure that he gets exactly what they got in 2017 in Central in terms of percentage, and then it comes to Rift Valley. Right now, it's moving up and down to eat into Raila's stronghold, which is impossible. Thank you.
Okay, just Tisa, Ruto has not been going to Central alone to build churches. Ruto is in record, going to Western, going to Coast, going to everywhere, building churches, doing Arambes. So, just a point of correction, he has not been going only to Central, building churches. I think I've seen him going to so many places.
From 2017,
Tembo. Wait, Tisa. Which church has Ruto built in Coast?
I'm saying Arambes for
no, which Arambe has Ruto attended in Coast?
Church is one of the projects, eh?
Which Arambe did Ruto attend in Coast? Which one?
I'm saying Ruto has been going up and down for projects. Church is one of the projects.
No, which church project has he attended in Coast?
I'm giving you now the details. Just a minute, eh?
Tembo, a minute.
Yes, go ahead, Tisa.
I want to give this guy fact. This forum provides us with opportunity to tell our friends the truth. Ruto has gone to Central more than the number of times he has gone to Sugoi, his home. You know that. And for the obvious reason, to campaign. Actually, a blogger somewhere, whom I don't trust so much, was saying he has gone there 371 times since 2017. Not for any other thing, but to actually campaign. And the campaign from 2017 has always been, Raila is bad. Raila ni mganga. Until now, Raila Odinga got the platform to go there and tell them that, look, the person talking to you is not a madman. This person is not mganga. And as we speak, Mwango, in as much as it is true, and I will never contradict this this position, that it is true that Central, majority of them are behind the DP. But if you meet today 10 people and ask them, 5 will tell you they're supporting DP Damu, 3 will tell you Raila Odinga, 2 will tell you that they're undecided, which was not the case in 2017. In 2017, if you threw stone in a group of 10 people from Central, the possibility of hitting somebody supporting Raila Odinga was nay. But today, if you throw stone in a group of 10 people from Central, you are likely to hit somebody supporting Baba. You can see the change, bro. It is obvious. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There's David. David, are you there? Okay, David has disappeared. Let us start again from up. Mwango, your turn.
Yes, I think I already submitted my submission.
Mwango has already submitted.
I think
David.
Or round 2.
Yeah, we were starting round 2. David, are you there?
Mwango, try to mute.
David Otieno. David is just looking at me. Okay, fine. We want to go round 2, so we'll.
Hello.
We'll
There
David,
he
are you
is.
there? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you ready to talk?
I can say something.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I've been following the
Good
discussion,
evening.
and I must comment that what we are discussing here is very serious. From the point of your observation, I also want to join in and support what you guys are actually saying. Leo tukiangalia maeneo ya Kisii, umeona kenye bwana Fred amesema, bwana Fred Matiang'i. Nanipata?
Yes, but we are shaking.
I think it's because of the internet. So what I'm saying, from the action of bwana Fred Matiang'i and the other two CSS, I think it's now evident that everyone is now heading toward the Raila presidency. It's no longer a guesswork, but this is now a fact. Now people must prepare, because when you see someone like Matiang'i, who is in charge of the interior, saying that he has got facts, and you even confirmed that the work that he's doing
Themba
and
ask
the information.
Mute.
Okay. So today he said that from the information he has been collecting from the office, that nearly everyone is now headed towards Raila presidency. So on the case of Ruto in Western, as most of you have alluded, I think everybody is so.
The guy in network is a problem.
David, your network has issues, eh? We are losing you.
20 to 25 buses, almost. Okay.
Yeah, your network has issues. I don't know if you can
Can
go
I
out
proceed?
and then come. You can go out and come back again.
Okay.
Yeah, you're being cut. We are losing you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's do the second round, and we'll start with Mwango. Mwango, go ahead.
Yes, when you're going to a competition, you go with the hope of winning. And it seems that the ODM guys have very strong hope that they will win. Remember, this is a competition, and your opponents are also not sleeping. They are also fighting hard. So,
but Mwango,
having
Mwango,
so much confidence, the way I see some of you speaking here, very confident.
Mwango, wait.
We are fighting hard, and you might be disappointed.
Wait, Mwango. You guys do not have confidence.
We also have confidence, and that's why I'm trying to bring the perception that both of us have confidence, and there's also some danger when you create overconfidence in somebody. Like Raila has been known to create that overconfidence that his supporters believe that Raila can only win and cannot lose. And then when that D-Day comes and things turns, then people cannot stomach that lose. So don't be overconfident, just be confident enough. Because you never know, things might turn against you. But if you are overconfident...
Themba.
Yes, Tisa.
Let this guy contribute. Let him not lecture us. We are overconfident because we know we have the ground. Just contribute and leave us. The rest we can handle.
You see,
Tisa is a very strong diet of Baba. Anyway,
you see,
Tisa, that is true, because when he tells us that ground will change,
no, let him waste
from Uganda. From
let
Uganda,
him waste his
from
time.
where? Because
Themba.
Yeah.
let Mwango waste his time and go give us time to give points.
Mwango,
Yes.
can you go straight to the point on why why you are overconfident and not thinking that wallowing or
With
even
me, I'm not
wondering
overconfident.
and
It's you
even
people.
thinking about why the other people are confident?
It's you people who are overconfident. With me, I'm just confident moderately because I know this is a competition. Now, with the CSS joining hands with RAILA, CSS are they don't have a political base. Let us be sincere. I don't see that they can add votes into RAILA basket. These people cannot even vie for an MC and win. So they are insignificant when now it comes to political issues. They are very, very insignificant. You can't know that Matiang'i as a base that now supports him. You can't say that this guy, another guy was who was in that meeting. It's called this health minister, the LCS, Mutahi
Yes.
Kagwe. You can't know that he has which kind of a base. So these people, they are insignificant when they come to political matters. So even if they supported RAILA, these people, they know very well they have scandals, and if they go to side of Ruto, they will be followed immediately, and that's why you see they are hiding behind the handshake. And this thing, most governors used it, hiding behind the handshake. In fact, governors who are thieves, and we know them, so they steal and then hide behind the handshake. Those who are brave enough to go to the other side of Ruto really face it rough. And you all know, RAILA himself said that he will fight corruption. Yet those who surrounds him, those whom he is working with, are all corrupt. How will you fight corruption when all
Like
those
who?
surrounds you?
Mention the one who works with him and is corrupt.
Junet is corrupt.
What
Murade
have you guys done about
corrupt.
it?
Junet was mentioned in Kemsa scandal and is the #1 supporter of Baba. We know people like Joe. We know all these things that they have done. We know all the accusations that have been leveled against them.
Demba.
And these
Demba,
people
why you
are the
allow
one
this
that
guy?
Demba.
Demba, why do you
Demba.
allow this guy to come with things which are not factual and not in
Demba.
quotes?
Demba.
Okay,
Of course, that's why you guys are here. You know, you're supposed to be here to start. Yes, Tisa. Wait,
When you talk
Mwango.
of when you talk of corruption,
Mwango, wait. Okay. Let's Mwango. There are concerns about what you are saying.
Let me finish something, eh?
No, wait.
no, listen. When you talk of corruption, my friend, don't talk of hearsay. Let me give you the type of corruption we are talking about. When Rotich was found with corruption of Aror and Kimore, were they not arrested, left office, and charged? When Ruto was found to have stolen a land from an IDP, Mr. Mutezi, the case went to the court until he was charged 5 million and then told to return the land. When he stole land from the Ministry of Aviation, I mean not Ministry of Aviation, but it's called Aviation what? Eh? There is an authority for aviation. This thing went to the court, and court said, your land was acquired illegally by Ruto. Akajenga hoteli. You see, these are things which have gone to court. Alafu, it has been proved. Don't just throw things, oh, Junet, alikuwa kwa Kemsa, what? Watu walikuwa kwa Kemsa, they are in court. People who are charged with Kemsa scandals, they are in court. If you have evidence that Junet was also involved, why don't you take that evidence to the court so that akuwe na hao watu wengine wako kwa court? You see, those are the things we are talking about. Kama alichukua land ya primary school ya Lang'ata. It was in public domain. Everything was said. You see, anything which is talking about corruption, we can only talk about it when it is officially in court and somebody has been charged. Whether it is kama ni case, ongoing case ama imemalizwa, hapo tutaelewana. Lakini this thing of bringing, sijui alikuwa kwa KEMSA, sijui kwa what, people who are involved in KEMSA, they are in court.
Okay, Tisa.
People who are involved in Arrow and Arrow Dam, all of them are in court. And the person, yes.
Now, Temba,
yes,
everyone is, we have a lot of viewers. People are watching us. And lawyers are also watching us. And lawyers would want to tell you that you don't wake up in the morning and accuse someone if you don't actually even have a lot of evidence. You cannot just go around and say that Junet and the likes that you are mentioning are corrupt when none of them has ever been taken to any court of law, found guilty, and of course, law was followed and they were dealt with. That is not actually how we should operate. Two, Mongo should know that if the government of Jubilee were to be ruthless and were to actually apply law selectively the way they normally argue, almost all people surrounding Ruto today could have been jailed. That is a fact. Even himself, the Ruto himself, would have been stopped from running if we have to go by Chapter 6 of the Kenyan Constitution, if the law were to be followed in this country. So I don't see the government of Jubilee applying selective application of law here. I want to echo what my brother has just said. I think it's called Ben Oseno. I only know of two scandals that Ruto has ever been involved in. The rest are hearsays because he has never been taken to court. The one that I know is when he grabbed land from Muteshi, and he was found guilty. And if it were in other countries that are very far much away, that have gone far in terms of democracy, Ruto would not have even been in office today. But this is Kenya. You can see he's still in office, yet he was found guilty for stealing. Ruto appeared on CNN, interviewed by Zaka, and this is what he said by himself, that he acquired the Western land illegally and he was ready to negotiate and pay. These are two scandals of a man running to lead this country. So before you come to argue, please bring us fact that the person you are talking about of Junet Mohammed was in the court the other day and found guilty. Please, you are a learned person and we are on a national platform. You are embarrassing us. Thank you.
Embo?
Okay, Mwango, Maliza, but don't say lies.
No, I'm not saying lies. These are the things that are in public domain. Now, I was going on with the people who are of questionable characters and are surrounding.
I think I need to respond to something.
Okay, Mwango, wait. Yes, Kevin.
I think there's something Mwango was saying about CSs that they cannot even buy for MCAs. I think that is a total lie. Let us be realistic. Let us not be hypocritical. Some of these CSs have been elected in big positions. The likes of Munya, they were former governors. The likes of Treasury Cabinet Secretary. So they are influential in their own communities. So let us not assume that they are minors. But there are people with substance in their communities. They matter in their communities. For example, when you talk about Matiang'i comes from a community, matters. You may say that he has his followers in one way or the other. The Jubilee people in my region they follow him. So You don't say that he has no base. These people have a say on the ground. So if you say that, you can't tell me that if Munya decides to go and run for the governorship of Meru County, he'll give
Kevin,
Leito
let
a
me
run for his money.
Kevin, let me
He'll
support
give
you
him a run for
somewhere.
his money. So, and then there's something we are talking about. If you look at this region, the Kisi region we are talking about, we had 2 governors, 2 senators, all of them in ODM, and a big number of those, the assemblies, the county assemblies, the MCAs, a big number of them is ODM. But look at what the system did. They had to ensure that they have to get a good number of these MPs so that they can have numbers at the National Assembly. They didn't want to interfere with the MCAs. They didn't want to interfere with these others because it did not matter in their National Assembly. So sometimes there is a time you get worried of the system when they want to achieve whatever they want to achieve, and they will. So don't undermine these people and say, oh, they don't have any impact. They have a say because they've been to the elective position, they've been elected, and they can still come back. Even if they don't come back, they can influence their community. So let us not say something that we want to say for it. Let us be realistic that these people, they have something to tell the people on the ground.
Umbati,
Yes,
can I add something on your point?
good.
You see, this gentleman called Mwambo is just trying to console himself. You know, when you try to console himself, you can say hata huyo jamaa hiyo gari anaendesha, hata hiyo gari niliwacha juzi, unajua si kununua, that is why nilinunua hii, unaona?
Yeah.
But it's feeling bad, you see, because now let me ask you, from Kisii specifically, let's talk of Matiang'i, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Matiang'i na Osoro na Mili na inaitwa nani? Millicent Omwanga. Eh?
Yeah.
Can you compare Matiang'i with those 2 people, sincerely speaking, when it comes to influence in Kisii?
No, you can't.
You can't, isn't it?
No, they have no.
When you talk of 2 governors, the governor from Kisii and from Nyamira, can you compare those 2 governors with Millicent Omanga na Osoro?
You cannot.
Those are the governors are people who are they're even people who employs people, and they have employed so many people in Kisii, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So people are answerable to them, and they have influence. So when you talk of Atio, those years cannot. People are answerable to them, and they have influence. So when you talk of Atio,
Washington can be mute.
So, somebody is on, eh?
Can I speak?
Yeah, Mwango.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Matiang'i is not a politician. Matiang'i is a technocrat. Matiang'i has no ability to go and convince the masses to vote a certain way. And that's why Matiang'i has been on record, and he has been accused by even ODM of using the police to influence even that like the elections. So he has no power to convince. With him, it's just to use the police, the force, to go and rig an election. And that's all we know about Matiang'i. There's something I want to read. I was talking about corruption also in the ODM party. There is a report that was written in the Standards in 2011 March by Patrick Madangani. The report reads, WikiLeaks claims Prime Minister Raila Odinga attempted to suspend former Agricultural Minister Ruto to divert attention from his family involvement in the 2 billion maize scam. Secret cable sent by US Ambassador
Excuse me,
Michael Ranagaga.
a point.
let me just finish, and then now
Just
we
a
talk.
point, one point. Just one point.
Let me just finish, and then now
Just
we
one
talk.
point. I won't allow you. 1 point, please. You are still the one holding the microphone.
Okay, there's something
Just 1
I'm reading.
minute.
I'm reading.
Yes,
And
I
my flow of
know.
thoughts will be
I
interrupted.
know. The flow of thought, there's no problem, but let me just say something.
Okay.
When you appear in court and you say claim, you just become irrelevant. So remember that whatever you're talking about is a claim. So continue.
Tisa. Okay, let me continue reading.
Demba,
We all
this guy
know.
is wasting our time.
We all know Michael Ranabaga
This guy
was
is
one of.
wasting.
Let me just finish that point.
I think let us give him time so that we can tackle him after his statement.
Okay, secret cable sent by U.S. Ambassador Michael Ranabaga to Washington, and now released by the WikiLeaks, alleged Raila wanted to create confusion when he said he was suspending Ruto and Education Minister Sam Ongeri. It claims Raila wanted public debate to focus on the two and not to his family's role in the scandal.
That is why I was telling you before you even move on that Mwango and members who are here, in the run up to 2017 election, Raila was always attacking the government of Jubilee by exposing the government each and every day. The government was working very hard to find even one evidence that can pin Raila Odinga down in terms of corruption. If they would even get this information that the guy is reading, they would have used it. And they would have dug into it to be able to know if there was element of truth in it. If the government wanted to actually finish Raila Odinga and they had the fact that the guy was corrupt and his family was involved, the guy would have been beaten 10-0. But remember, in as much as Raila Odinga was exposing the government, be it Eurobond and whatnot, there was no single day that Uhuru and Ruto stood and said, we also know that you are corrupt, because they didn't know. They would even use the powerful forces in the county to stop the guy. So sometimes when you're reading these claims, which are in law, I would call them that, I would say that you're confused, because you cannot come to this platform where all of us are listening with claims. And that's why I want to refer you to Article 66 of the Kenyan Constitution. Always read it. It will tell you that you are innocent until proven guilty, including claims.
Yes.
I think, Mwango,
Yes.
Semantically, the word claims puts all that statement. It is null and void. It cannot be listened anywhere by just the word claims. It
Now,
cannot withhold
Kevin,
any what it cannot. Claims. Mark the word claims. A claim does not have any
Kevin
evidence,
Ombati.
and you cannot put it before anyone.
Kevin Ombati. Then I also say that we should not accuse the DP because of
That is why we are saying
those are
the only
claims.
two cases we are here talking about. And remember very well, sometimes we can stand to accuse him, because at one time in one of the interviews he said very well, my friends, you remember, it is not 21 billion that is lost in this case, it's about 7 billion. How did he know that it was 7 billion? He is not part of it. That one, the clips are there, we can go into the archives and get them. He said very well, it's not 21. When media and everyone was saying it's 21 billion, he said no, it's only 7 billion. How was he in a position to tell us where is this 7 billion? Mango, are you getting me?
You're breaking.
Okay, Mwango, I think your time is up. Let's have someone else. We will be back to you. So,
this guy will soon support Baba. This one is coming home.
Okay, let's have That's Benz Oseno.
Now, what I can talk about now again is about the CSS. Or one of the contributors has been saying that the CSS don't have powers, they don't have influence, they don't have constituents. Don't forget, some of these guys like Mutai Kagwe, who is the Minister of Health, was a senator. So why are you forgetting that he has run for an elective post and he was a senator? So basically, he has a constituent.
Hey.
So when you come to Wamalwa, Wamalwa has
Ngoja kidogo Benz. When you come on, kindly mute so that we don't you don't interfere with the broadcast as the speakers are on the floor. Kindly, every other person, just mute. Thank you. Benz, go on.
So when you talk of Wamalwa, who was there, Wamalwa, you cannot take him for granted. He's a politician, and he has clout. Then you talk of Matiang'i. I don't know why you found out that Matiang'i can only have influence on the policemen. But in any case, if he has influence on policemen, that has influence. Because even policemen are voters. But what I know, even in his own area, he has influence. He's a leader. He's somebody people who can back on him. Like, for example, today, is the one who made Raila to go to Nyamira to do that fundraising. So he's respected there. I don't know why you are denying the truth, because somebody, I would say, like Millicent Omanga, who is always following Ruto, what influence does she have? Because after all, she has never been elected anywhere. She is just a nominated person. So these CS, when they are now turning and supporting an individual, whether there will be a CS who is going to support Ruto, that is a plus. We call it a plus. But you see, with Raila now, this other CS is supporting him. You know, Amala is from Western, in fact, from Trans Nzoia. Matiang'i is from Kisii. Mutai Kagwe is from Central. These are areas that maybe, for example, Central, Raila never got any votes from that area. So anybody who can support him, even if it's one individual, is very important, because any vote hakuwa nayo. Like to say kama Eugene, those sides, in fact, Jubilee got so many votes than ODM. I mean NASA. So when we got somebody from that end, and it's a person who is in leadership, we know we must get even 100 votes there, or even 1,000 votes. And that is a plus. That is a vote Raila didn't have. Likewise, if now we can combine all the heads of leaders in Kisii, and they come in one voice, that is a plus, because we know penetrating that area will be difficult. So these things, in fact, are just a plus to the ODM. And then when you talk of ODM, you know, Raila has not said he's going to run on ODM tickets. ODM is just going to be one of the parties. They are going to come up with a vehicle, a common vehicle. So, my friend, if you saw your man in Kakamega, in Western, asking these people, why can't they tell me the party that they will run with? Why can't they tell me who is going to be to compete with me? You know how he's talking. is even eager to know. But you see, with us in this side of ODM and these other small parties, sisi hatuna haraka. We pull the string when the right time comes. Sisi hatuna haraka. Let him just campaign with UDA, what we know is UDA and everywhere, what, and he's saying he's not ready for any coalition. So we know, yeah, he believes in himself.
Benson. Najua umejaribu kujibu sana Mwango, but let me help you because Mwango is lying on this studio. He needs to cast his net wide. He needs just to cross to our neighborhood in Uganda, and we have Museveni, who was a military man. He has been in power over 30 years. He needs also to know that we have somebody called Kimemia. Kimemia was a technocrat. Right now he's a governor. He needs to know that Uhuru was taken from home. He was not a politician. And came and Makto was told to step down. And Makto stepped down from his nomination seat. And he was brought to parliament through nomination. After that, he was given a ministry of local government. That is how Uhuru was made into somebody and processed into a president. And right now he's a president. So don't tell us that so and so is a politician. Kina Mudavadi were taken from school and brought into government. Kina Saitoti were picked from lecture hall and brought into politics. So don't start lecturing us here that they so and so is a politician and so is not a politician. Anybody can make it in politics. You just need an opportunity. Even you, if you are given today an opportunity, you can make it in politics. Now, Matiang'i right now, in fact, if you hear the confession of Raila Odinga today, he was saying that they were contemplating of giving him an opportunity to run. So that means the man has already become influential. And when you look at the by-elections that were happening in Kisii, even at some point, ODM will complain because there was an influence of Matiang'i on the ground, in the site of Jubilee. So don't tell us that he's not influential. At his level, he's already influential and there's no way you can return him back. In fact, Kisii themselves, they're not thinking him to run for any other seat like governor, no. They just want him to be at the national level. So he already struck the high notch and there's no way you can return him back. So mtu asikudanganya ati kuna ule ni politician na kuna ule sio politician. All these things people learn. All these political dramas, Kina Kalonzo have been there for how many, 34 years. But there are people who come in the scene and then they learn the things very fast. Some worked, Mutu like Alfred Mutua was picked to be a spokesperson. But from there, he made his career. Right now, he's a serious force in Cumberland in terms of succession of Kamba Kingpin. So anybody can make it in a leadership. You just need to realign yourself. If you are given an opportunity, you align yourself. Matiang'i, by the way, ranks high. In fact, his influence, Isha Peter ya kina Mudavadi kina nani. He has a strong base. In fact, Matiang'i is one politician that can be voted across the nation because people know who Matiang'i is and what he has done for this nation. Nobody will vote for him on count of tribe. They will just vote for him because they understand what Matiang'i stands for.
Hey, Wekesa.
I
just needed to clarify that, yes.
Wekesa, before one thing, let me also add on that, Wekesa, if you allow me.
Can.
Wekesa, are you there?
I'm there.
Unfortunately, Mwango will not listen to anything that you have said.
No,
Unfortunately,
I just want something.
because he will still argue as if he was not listening. So let's listen to him now, even as he argues as if he was not listening. That is Mwango.
Wekesa is saying that Matiang'i has a political base. I think Matiang'i is one of the most hated person in Kenya.
By who?
By Kenyans. When I remember Matiang'i, I remember those who were killed in 2017. That's all. That's what I remember Matiang'i of. I remember Baby Pendo. I remember all those people who were killed during the post-election violence.
And
So telling me that Matiang'i is now the
forget,
last
let me ask
politician in
you,
Kenya
do you forget
is a lie. Is a lie.
Nobody hates the killers of Juma, Musando. Nobody hates them. Why? We have forgotten, and even we're making them to look like darlings. So don't tell us about that, because you are opening up Pandora's
we cannot
box.
forget. We cannot forget what Matiang'i did in 2017.
But we cannot.
Telling me that now he's a most loved
No,
person
I
in
think
Kenya.
you are shifting goals. Your argument was that he's not influential.
You are
The fact
saying
that
that
everybody knows, let me
influential,
tell you,
he has
let's define influence. The fact that everybody knows who Matiang'i is in Kenya, that already is an influence. That already is an influence.
And Mwango.
A negative influence, not a positive one.
Mwango.
Yes?
You want us to open the Pandora box and now talk about those who have killed in this country but are still in the political scene and are loved, kind of, and are being followed by Mwango. Can you mention their names?
Mention them.
We know, but the only problem is that you don't want to go back to history and start debating things which are not helping us. Because we also know what happened and how many people have lost their lives in the hands of some people who are today positioning themselves as the best candidates in this country. So if you're saying that Matiang'i is not influential, yet you know him, then I wonder how you know somebody is not influential.
Do you have evidence? Do you have evidence for your claim?
That is why I'm telling you.
For Matiang'i, we have evidence. We saw all of us what happened. But
no, you did not. You know, Mwango. When whatever happened in 2007, in 2017, affected those of us who supported Raila Odinga more than you. By the way, you are celebrating. You are only now crying because you know the knife is on the other side. But you have been celebrating all along, and you realize that Matiang'i, as we speak, by the way, for information, the election of 2017 was being controlled by two individuals, Ruto and Uhuru. And if Matiang'i did anything wrong, then he was taking instruction from his two bosses. So I wonder why would now start blaming Matiang'i, who was just taking instructions. But never ever say that Matiang'i is not influential. He is. Matiang'i right now, as we speak, bro. I also have some blood from Kisi. Matiang'i today, as we speak, bro, is even more influential than Ongwai and Siji Nyamariba, Siji who. This governor from Nyamira combined. The guy is now influential. So you cannot talk about the guy in terms of lack of influence. The guy is influential. Then lastly, Omwango, this I will tell you, because if I don't tell you, then I will go home as a man. I will sleep as a man. We are not in any way trying to say that if Matiang'i comes around, then automatically Raila will win election. Bro, Raila's stronghold is intact. His votes are intact. Nothing has changed. Nothing has completely changed. And I didn't want to tell you this, but let me tell you. Most of us today who are very, we have confidence that the guy is winning election. We are not having confidence that Raila is winning election. Our confidence is that at long last, his votes will be counted. That is our confidence, bro. Because those who have not been counting his votes are now actually his people. So then his vote will be counted. But in a free and fair contest, even without Matiang'i saying anything, Ruto cannot beat Raila Amolo Odinga. You also know. But because you want to look politically correct, and because you have got some personal hatred towards Baba, you have to be where you are. But he cannot beat Baba in a free and fair contest. That you know. So don't pretend.
Kisa.
Yes.
I think one thing I want to support what Kisa is saying, that I'm a son of that community that we're talking about. In Kisiland, it's either you are with Matiang'i or you are with Ongwai. That is one thing that is on the ground here. And so today, when we've seen those two being in one table, in Kisiland, it is seen. I can assure you.
Network yako is poor.
What I'm saying, are you getting me?
Yes.
So what I'm saying, in Kisiland, there are only two things. It's either you are with Matiang'i or you are with Ongwai. Ongwai is the face of ODM, Matiang'i is the face of Jubilee. So once these two come together,
You are breaking, Mbate. I don't know. You are breaking seriously.
are you getting me?
You are breaking seriously.
What I'm saying is, hello, you are getting me?
Yes. Yeah.
In Kisiland, it's either you are with Ongwai or you are with Matiang'i. Ongwai is the face of ODM. Matiang'i is the face of Jubilee. So when these two are on the same platform, it is sealed in Kisiland. So, like I can assure you one thing, what Mr. Oseno was saying. Ruto cannot come to Kisii, depending on Osoro and Omanga. For one, Omanga does not operate from Kisii. Omanga operates from Nairobi. She does not understand the geographical and political logistics of Kisii. Osoro is a first-time MP. He does not understand so many issues about the Kisii. So, for Kisii, Ruto has an uphill task. All those senior politicians and the rest, they are with the RAILA. So see, there is much that needs to be worked on. And on the same time, telling us about politicians, nobody is born a politician. All of us are technocrats, but from technocrats, that at the end of the day, we go to politics. Politics is a complementary to what we've acquired in terms of technocrats. If you look at all these people in politics, they came from. Ask yourself a question: where was Kutula Kilonzo Jr. when the father died? He was practicing law. He was brought to become a senator. Where was Kajwang when the brother died? So matters of telling us, oh, they are technocrats, they are politicians. All of us are politicians, apart from being technocrats. By virtue, we are here contributing. We are contributing to politics, but we have our areas of specification. Some of us are professionals in engineering, others are professionals in academics, others are professionals in marketing. But we are contributing by virtue of contributing to this and looking at politics, we are not politicians. So let us not say Mwango that this one is a technocrat, another one is a politician. Yeah.
Thank you.
Eric. Let me say something.
Who is talking?
Eric.
Oh yeah, Eric, please.
Yeah, I joined when Mwango was talking, and I heard him reading some events that happened in 2011. I think he couldn't substantiate all that. He had to refer whatever was written, and I don't understand. I don't really get him when he's trying to refer to a given paper which was not national. It had no proof, it had no statistics in it, and it was just baseless. Okay, secondly, I've heard him mentioning about the hatred of Matiang'i. Do you know that the Kisii nation is begging Matiang'i to be their spokesman? Begging, not even, there's no one contesting it with him, but they want him to be their spokesman. Why? Because of his influence. In as much as you can say that Matiang'i is not a politician, that man is a politician. That man is a politician, and every cabinet secretary, you have to understand that they're all politicians. So at the end of the day, they'll have to follow whoever appointed them. And failure to follow whoever appointed you into that position, you risk losing the position. Okay, again, in as much as we can say here that politicians are the same. No, not politicians are the same. Everyone is politician, and therefore we can say we are all the same. Whoever is inside here, I saw Desmond display something here that politicians are the same. It's wrong. You're also a politician. You're also a politician, and I can say this: whatever thing that you're doing, you must fight. You must either oppose or be on the positive side. You must either support or go against. What does that mean? You're a politician. You're politicking. You want to pull a given population towards your side, or oppose whatever thing that was proposed to for you to be relevant. That's politics. So in whatever thing that we are doing in this life, we have to conclude that we are all politicians. And if we go with the notion that politicians are the same, then we are going to lose the track. There are politicians who are never corrupt. They do whatever thing that they are doing. They do it freely. They do it openly. They do it with transparency. Okay. If we really want to follow whatever Mwanko was trying to insinuate here about Raila Odinga being corrupt, he couldn't substantiate it because there's no part within that. And I heard Tisa mentioning that if he had records, had evidence of him being corrupt, then they would have used the same evidence to dismantle him. They would have used that evidence to destabilize him in 2017 and in 2013. Thank you.
Thank you. Who is going again? Who is ready? Who is ready? Washington.
Yes.
Welcome.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. First, I want to say that Matiang'i is a politician, and today I was keenly following about the speeches in Kisii, and Baba is on track. But again, we need also to I was listening to the speeches from Junet, from the other side, and I'm seeing that Baba is at least making some good steps in this. But again, we need also to, even in as much as wanaongeanga kwa podium, but again we need to tame our tongue so that we don't haribia Baba tena. Today I was nilishindwa sana na what Junet said as he was almost towards the end of his speech. Alianza tu vizuri, and I really laugh. It makes me laugh whenever nikisikia his speeches. But again today, somehow towards the end, kuna ka statement alimake ambaye to me haikuniridhisha sana. Alisema serikali ni yetu, watu wa Nyanza. He went ahead and said that if tukichukua serikali, then the likes of wakina Mutai Kagwe watakuja kama wageni, which to me somehow was very, very ambiguous. Now they need also to tame, in as much as we are fighting for this, at least we make friends and also to fight for the votes. But again, kuna some statements zinaweza tuharibia pia at the end of the day. So the likes of Junet, at least they need also to tame their language. Anything, you can be a good speaker, utaongea vitu nzuri, but at the end of the day, that one thing, the negative thing, hata kama ni kidogo umeongea in a second, hiyo ndiye kila mtu atapika, and that is what the opponent are using to bring us down. So it knows also to tame his tongue on that.
Yeah, can I say something small?
Yes.
Washington has talked sense. At least he's also seeing some of the loopholes or some of the blunders that the other sides are making. Unlike some of us here who don't when you attack anything wrong about the other side, the only is to protect them. So at least I know that Junet ameongea matope somewhere. Hello? Na ameipoint that hapa naye ameongea vibaya. So even if I said that Junet alikuwa mentioned kwa scandal, pia inafaa ukubali naye alikuwa mentioned kwa scandal. And mentioning mpaka kue nasema that there's no smoke without fire, ama there's no fire without smoke. When you hear something when you hear something being mentioned about somebody, then there must be something there hiding. So at least when you say something, when it is wrong, it is wrong depending on which side you are.
Okay, that's good. Mwango, I listened to Junet, Mwango and Washington, but I think I did not listen properly. So maybe after this show, I'll go and listen again so that I can be able to talk about that. This one of Mwango, this one of Mwango pushing us to say that Junet is a thief when we don't know if it's a thief or not. We are not going to allow this until you have evidence that the guy you have been talking about is a thief. You guys, Mwango, you are supporting William Ruto, who has been mentioned in all type of scandals. Not so long ago, he was accused of killing Kenei. And you can see, you will never hear any of us talking about it because there's no evidence, though people talked about it. So we cannot come with the roadside stories and say that is the truth of the matter. So here, Junet, I would wish to see you tabling an evidence and saying, Tisa, this is Junet appearing before a court of law. This is Junet found guilty. This is Junet in jail. But you cannot just tell me that you heard it was mentioned that it was corrupt. Then if that is the case, then how many things have been accused, DP has been accused of? How many? So many things. Every killing in this country, prominent people. But he will not argue, base argument on that because he has never gone to court. He has not been taken to court oversight. We only know 2 cases that he has, and he was proved guilty. Anybody?
Okay, maybe.
WG, alienda.
Just as okay, that last part. Yeah.
I've listened to it. And I think, you pointed it out correctly. That is not what was supposed to come out of Junet's mouth anyway. But anyway, politicians are known to spew nonsense when they see microphone. We have had cases of some of them who are running for president today saying that all they need is power to deal with Kikuyus. And so basically when they take microphone, that's what they say. Not so long ago, by the way, Ruto said that akichukua power, hakuna jamii yenye iko na shida na Wakikuyu kama Wakalenjin. But sometimes you put difference aside, you look for power first before you deal with them. So politicians will always speak. Anyway, that one was not good.
Let me ask one more question.
Yeah, who is talking?
Eric.
Who is talking?
Eric.
Oh yeah, Eric.
I wanted to ask Mwanga a question. Mwanga, are you there?
I'm there. I'm
Okay.
there.
So, yeah, I think the issue of BBI was gone and was done and dusted, right?
You're saying?
The issue of BBI was done and dusted, right?
Or BBI?
Yeah.
I'm not getting you clearly.
The issue of BBI was done and dusted.
He's saying that BBI is now water under the bridge.
There?
He's saying
Yeah.
that BBI is now water under the bridge.
Oh, okay. Under the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that it has passed.
The story yake imeisha. That was his statement, yes.
Okay. Raila is on Raila is on record. Just point.
I'm still talking.
Okay.
So I was mentioning that the issue of BBI is done and dusted and it's something of the past, of which the court declared their stand. They said it was null and void. People have forgotten about creating positions, and as well, every politician knew that BBI was going to create positions. Why do you think that the person that you're supporting today, wherever he goes, he has to mention position creation? Where are these positions going to be created? Is there someone now talking about creation of positions?
Okay, can I answer BBI?
Just answer the entire question, the entire thing that I've asked.
I've heard about the BBI. The other one I've not heard it clearly.
Okay, don't answer what you have not heard. Okay.
So I've heard about BBI.
So don't answer whatever you've not heard.
Let me. Okay, I want to answer about the BBI being under the bridge. What under the bridge?
I never finished my statement, so you've not heard the second part of my question.
There are two
questions. Are you hearing this one? Are you hearing me now talking?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Hausikiki Bwana Eric.
Are you hearing me now talking?
We are hearing you, but also be clear.
I'm clear. I think I'm clear now.
Yes, I'm getting you.
So I was saying, the issue of BBI was done and dusted. It's something of the past.
So that's the first question.
That's the first. It's not the first question. I was going on with my statement. Okay. Then I pose a question. So why do you think that the person you are supporting today is using BBI creation of position as his campaign tool? Yet everyone had already forgotten about BBI and any position that it was going to create. Do you think that this man is relevant or irrelevant or he has run out of ideas?
Okay, to answer you, in one of the rallies, I don't know it was in Meru, but in one of the recent rallies, Raila said that BBI has just paused and it will be back. In one of the rallies, I heard him saying, so he said that BBI will be back and it's just paused. So that one means that BBI is something that is still there. It's still a plan that plan is not finished. It's still there. And maybe he plans to bring it after maybe it comes to power. So that BBI idea has not gone. It's still there with the Raila, despite the court rubbishing it. And in fact, the court only said that the process was wrong. So maybe Raila is planning to start a new process following the law, coming with the BBI. So RUTO'S just okay again to hit it, because I was also having the plan to bring it back. So BBI is not forgotten. It's still there.
Are you done?
I'm done.
So you never answered me, okay?
But he works about BBI, that Ruto is using BBI despite it. The court had already what? Nullified it. But Raila in the political podium has still been talking about saying that it is just post. It has just post. And it will be
Okay.
back.
Okay, to you as an individual,
Yeah.
what negativity do you have towards BBI?
Towards BBI.
Yeah.
BBI was going to create a tyrannical government.
Mm-hmm.
And that one will be dangerous to Kenyans by giving the president a lot of powers. And that's why we came up with this 2010 constitution, to try and limit the president's power.
Okay,
People suffered
so
during the reign of Moi because Moi had all the powers. And that's why Uhuru is struggling with this constitution. He is trying to exercising the way Moi ruled, not knowing that we are in a new constitution. And that's why you find that it's always been at loggerhead with the court. Trying this with the thorax, the courts block it. Try this with the thorax, the court block it. Same way Moi ruled. But Moi ruled under different constitution, and that's why he had the leeway. But Uhuru is having a problem with this constitution, and that's why he has been on the wrong sides with the courts. Do you agree with me?
okay, I was never done. I was never done.
He is trying to exercise a lot of powers, not knowing that this new constitution has some limits for him.
Okay, you talked about that BBI was paused, right?
That's one issue, and I think it's the major issue also.
Are you going to the second one? Because I was proceeding.
So I think you should have asked how the president will have a lot of powers using the BBI thing.
No, I was just specific on my question, okay?
Yes.
So another thing here. Don't you see the need of looking into BBI again, then making adjustments that will boost the country economically?
I don't deny that.
Okay, so you don't have hatred towards BBI. You only have hatred of having tyrannical. Wait. Let me just finish, please.
Okay.
You had hatred of the creation of tyrannical or dictatorial form of leadership, and the creation of extra executive positions, right?
Yes.
So you don't have hatred on BBI apart from the two instances, or apart from the two clauses, right?
Yes.
So generally, you like BBI, okay?
That's why we said BBI was not good at, or as in bad all, as in it was the entire thing was bad. No, there were some few sections that you were saying that let us agree on this. Let us try to change 1, 2, 3, 4 in the BBI so that it can go as a good document. But the other side was saying no, the train has left the station. They did not want to hear us. Yet we could have came to a consensus and say, okay, this one and this part, how can we put it so that it can be good to Kenyans? But no one wanted to listen to us. And that one is why we said no to BBI. You know, there were the small things that were good, but those ones were acting as a bait. They were just a bait to attract us. It was like a Trojan horse, whereby it is something beautiful outside, but inside it is rotten. It's dangerous.
Okay, I've heard you. Here, there's something that I really want to ask you. You are Ruto supporter, okay?
Yes.
And I'm a good student, history student.
Yes.
When my history serves me right.
Can you be clear enough?
I'm clear. I think I'm clear.
You are somehow blurred. The voice is not coming out clearly.
I think I'm clear now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm clear. You getting me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. If my history serves me right,
Yes.
I think the same person that you're supporting today
Yes.
are are the minds behind the printing of 500 shillings note. Why were the 500 shillings note printed?
To buy Kenyans
To buy Kenyans, right?
during the Moise era.
Moi
And
era.
remember,
Who was the ringleader? Wait, who was the ringleader doing that?
remember when Ruto was in YK 94, 92, he was acting under instruction, and his boss, he was not doing this thing that now on his own mind. There was somebody instructing him. In fact, he was still a very young person by that time, very young, and I think it's when now he was getting into politics. So he was still very young. That I don't think what he was doing out of his own decisions.
Okay, you defended that. Do you know how old Ruto was by then?
By then, Ruto had just came out of the university.
University.
So
Meaning,
I think he
wait,
was still in his maybe early 20s or early
not
30s.
not
Late
early,
20s.
yes, late 20s. So
Late 20s
someone who is already on his late 20s is old enough to make sound decisions. He knows how to distinguish between wrong and right. He knows how to distinguish between freedom and slavery. So if you're today saying that Ruto was acting under instruction from his masters, then you are wrong. Then you're here misleading us. You're here supporting who you really don't know what he stands for.
Well, somebody said the same thing while defending Matiang'i, saying that Matiang'i should not be blamed because he was receiving instruction from his bosses. So I'm using the same concept to defend Ruto, that by also that time, he was also receiving instruction from his bosses.
Okay, that aside.
Yeah.
The 2010 constitution now.
Yes.
Do you support the 2010 constitution?
Yes.
You support it fully, and you see it as pure as 98% okay for Kenyans, right?
It is 95% good and then 5% bad.
Bad.
Yeah.
Meaning it is almost excellent, right?
Not excellent.
Almost. I've said almost.
Almost.
Almost excellent. Once something surpasses the 90% mark, it's almost excellent.
Yes.
Okay. The same person that you're supporting today, was he for or against the 2010 constitution? And why was he against the 2010 constitution while he was campaigning against it?
Well, there was some areas that he had issues with. Still, he didn't as in oppose the entire constitution, but this thing of the stamping, that we cannot change 1, 2, 3. That's why it was forced into the no camp, because there were some few areas, and he was not alone. He was with the church as a whole. In fact, the no campaign was Ruto plus the church, because there were some issues even with the church. That's why even the church opposed said no. Can't you remember?
Okay. Oh, wait. You reminded me of something here.
Yeah.
So you're saying that he was against some sections of the 2010 constitution, right?
Yeah, and even Raila has been saying that Ruto said that the constitution was not 100% perfect, and now those areas are the ones that are now in BBI. That's even Raila said so. That Ruto said that that 2010 constitution was not perfect, and there were some areas to be ironed out. And now he came up with this BBI to try to iron those out. But he didn't know that the issues that were opposed by then are not the issues that were included in the BBI.
Okay. Can you just mention a few issues? Can you just mention a few issues that you think that were posed in 2010?
I can remember one was the issue of abortion. In fact, the church was very strong on that, saying that this 2010 constitution will support abortion. And I can remember there were campaign all over saying that the 2010 constitution will support abortion.
Is the clause still there?
It's still there.
Is it passed by members of parliament?
Yes.
Is it?
The constitution is there. The way we passed the constitution, then everything in it was passed.
Not really. You are wrong. There are stages of passing constitution, brother.
There are stages of passing constitution just to make them work, but not to amend those things that are already passed.
We call them amending the constitution. In fact, we call them making them to work perfectly. Do you know that since 2010 constitution was amalgamated, up to date, there are clauses that are not functional. Even you're clear about the one-third gender rule. Is it working right now?
It's not working.
Why?
Because the parliament have refused to implement it, and that's why the Chief Justice, former Maraga, said that parliament should be disbanded because it has failed in its mandate.
Very good. So that brings me to the fact that the constitution has got stages of its amendment and its passage. Okay, here comes another thing that I wanted to get from you. About the same 2010 constitution. Why do you think? Why do you think? Are you getting me?
I'm getting you.
Why do you think?
Yes.
Right now, Ruto has got guts of supporting the 2010 constitution. Yet the same clauses that he was opposing are still there.
Politics change, my friend. Politics is a dynamic. Politics is dynamic.
So you are like telling us, the politics of constitutionalism is quite much different from the politics of ruling. Right?
And the same thing, Raila, who supported the 2010 constitution wholeheartedly, now wanted to bring BBI to amend it. Are you seeing that? The same thing. It's just the same thing on the opposite side, because the person who supported it wholeheartedly now wants some changes in it. The person who opposed it now does not want some changes in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just
do you think that BBI was proposing the elimination of some section of the 2010 constitution?
Yes.
Was there anywhere in the BBI proposing scrapping of some sections of the 2010 constitution?
Yeah, if you hear from the lawyers and how they presented in the court, they said that BBI was going to alter. In fact, they were saying to alter the 2010 constitution, and they are saying
alter but not scrap, right?
Yeah, to alter, because there were so many amendments that would change the entire design of the constitution, and that one was the main point of contention even in court, with the issues of amendability. That some of the clauses were unamendable. If you can remember the court sessions, that the BBI was coming, it's like to come up with a new constitution altogether, because there was so over 90 something changes that were going to happen in the 2010 constitution.
I don't think, if I'm not wrong, whether the BBI was going to scrap anything from the 2010 constitution.
If you add the court sessions and how the lawyers presented, that BBI was going to, in fact, they use a term, the term that they were using here, that was going to not to amend but to, it's like we were coming up with a new constitution, because almost a half of the clauses in the 10th constitution were going to be affected, and this one would change the entire design. And that's why they were saying about the unamendability, something like that, if you can remember.
Who was saying that?
The lawyers, and even
The lawyers or the judges?
the lawyers, the judges just confirmed the arguments of the lawyers. The lawyers are the people who
Okay.
came up with the case.
Let me tell you,
Mm.
there's no constitution on earth that cannot be amended. So this one brings me to a fact that there's war between judiciary and executive. We
Well,
need to know this.
the court said that.
Just wait.
The court said that. The court said that the constitution cannot be amended, can be amended, but by following the right procedure. There's the
Very
procedure
good.
set. There's a procedure
Very
set
good.
for making a new constitution.
Not making a new constitution, but amending the constitution.
Yeah, so there were so many arguments in court, and the judges, in fact, the High Court, the Court of Appeal, confirmed the judgment of the High Court. And I think if the case is even in the Supreme Court, they will also confirm the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that there was a lot of brainwork that went into that into the case, and even the BBI team accepted the verdict.
In as much as they accepted the verdict, we really need to understand that there is a war between judiciary and the executive. Judiciary is trying to pull on their side, towards their side, that they have both powers and they're independent. Executive on its side is trying to prove to judiciary that they can influence anything within this nation and the constitutionalism itself. So whenever we are talking about the judgment on BBI, we really need to think using the third eye on what's happening. I was following the proceedings or the court proceedings on BBI, and I came to realize that all the judgments were no longer genuine. It was the judiciary trying to prove its power to the executive that we can do this, we have the powers, because you will try to change the constitution, it will come back here and will reject that. Secondly, when you're talking about the constitutional amendment processes, the judiciary was not against BBI itself. Whatever the judiciary stated clearly, that there were no rightful procedures that were followed by the BBI team in amending the constitution. That was the main, in fact, that was the base of everything. That's why you see people like Junet and Mohammed went there as Kenyans who are the proponents of BBI. What does that tell you? Is that the constitution, the process that they are trying to mention there is what Akina Junet were trying to overturn by going to appeal the judgment. So whenever we are talking about BBI changes and BBI failure, then we need really to understand the war between judiciary and executive. Thank
you. Mwango.
Yes.
You see, I don't understand the obsession with the BBI, yet the BBI is no longer part of the discussion. Even if everything was to happen, we can't have a referendum right now. So I don't know why it's becoming still a campaign issue. You know, like the courts have already pronounced itself to the BBI. It's already water under the bridge, you know. So what value does it add? Well, maybe there is value because your preferred candidate is still talking about the other side wanting to positions, yet himself is also looking for the same position. So I don't understand why this BBI should be an issue as a campaign tool. You know, what value does it add to the people when you tell them about BBI? Does it bring any value? Maybe you need to educate me.
Do you know why we use BBI as a tool to beat our opponent? It is one of the failures of our opponent. And when, for example, you are in a football match and you find a place where kuna mwanya, where there's a weak player, you will find the other team will be using that weak player to try and score. So when you look at the BBI story, it showcases that Raila is weak, or Raila came up with something that failed. So if you try to beat this thing and try to tell it to the mwananchi that now you see BBI Raila came with it, na ikaanguka.
But
So this man,
Mango,
we can also beat him the same way
you
BBI
see,
failed.
it's a double.
It is a political thing, eh?
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because the same person that your preferred candidate or Dr. William Samoei Ruto purports to be, whose deputy purports to be, supported the same.
Yes.
And at the Mashujaa Day, he came out saying that he has been a deputy president to the president for the past 9 years. And in one of the things he said, even your legacy of unity, which according to the president was to come through BBI. So the president, he's not fighting Raila, he's actually fighting his boss. So Raila is a collateral damage to his fight with his boss, because Raila did not shake hands with himself. He shook hands with someone. So if his side of the divide, that is his boss, was not for it, nothing would have happened.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to come in and veiling it in saying that it was a Raila thing, Raila did not shake hands with himself. Somebody was there. Who was there? That was the president. So he is in essence saying the president was wrong. And let me tell you, it's a double-edged sword, because there were quite a number of stuff in the BBI that were okay. And that, to date, has been part of what has caused division in some of the people who are supporting it.
And again,
So,
Themba,
yeah.
there's something that Mwango needs really to understand here. Okay, Mwango, Themba is gone. I really need you to understand this fact, that the failure of BBI is again a war against the deputy president. This is a fact that you really have to accept. The failure of BBI is used against the deputy president. Why? Because if you have been keen following the campaigns in central Kenya, they are using that against the deputy president. And they're saying, you are going to get one man, one vote, 1 shilling. But so and so opposed to this. How do you want to vote for such kind of a person who is pretending to be coming here and promising you goodies, yet he refused for the additional allocation of resources? These are facts that you really need to accept.
So Mwango, as you say, I don't know how it's gonna work, because you're saying that you're using it against Raila, which I don't think is gonna work, because it's a double-edged sword. Those who think that by supporting BBI they were going to gain, they feel that if you didn't support BBI, you are supporting them not gaining from the good aspects of the BBI. Now, you're right to the extent that those who feel that it was going to be a burden, which is not, or those who feel it was going to create spaces, which is not, there's no way you can have leadership. Constituency creation is something that is ongoing. It is enshrined in the constitution, and so constituencies will still be created, and whether you like it or not, as the population grows, the review is continuous. Then suggesting that it was going to create certain spaces, position for certain people, is suggesting to the Mwananchi that the constitution comes with some names written there already on who is supposed to pick which position, which is a lie, and the Mwananchi is going to know very soon that that was a lie. When the constitution is created, it's not created for anyone. So you guys can continue that narrative, which I think you're trying to bring out everywhere you go. You think that it's still going to wipe up the emotions of people, thinking that the Kenyan is not as foolish. They know there's no longer BBI anyway. Now, the same thing your people talk about, someone said that Raila, if you want to know history, you go to Raila. If you want to know the future, you go to Ruto. Yet the same deputy president is saying that I helped Raila, I helped Uhuru. That is history. So it is history, and it's nice when it is favoring you. But it is not history, and it is not nice when someone else is using it. You see, that's selective argument. But it's okay. If it's gonna work for you guys and give you votes, that's okay. Like you said, it's a political competition, and anyone tries to look for an area that they think is weak.
Yeah, that's it. That is a strategy. You always look for the weak point for your opponent to beat. And BBI, as I see it, it was one of the weakest moments for Raila, the lowest moment for Raila, because it portrayed him as a failure in some way. So any strong opponent will try to beat that, to use that failure. You see, and that's what Ruto is very good at, beating that BBI. Eh?
Mwango, you are wrong. Mwango, you are wrong.
Why?
Mwango, you are wrong. The same BBI is used against deputy president. That's no. Wait.
Just a minute. Raila appeared to people as somebody who cannot be defeated in anything that he touches. And BBI proved otherwise. So that's what I'm saying. It was one of the lowest moments for Raila, because people see Raila as somebody that anything he touches must go through. Are you seeing that?
Wait.
And that's how many people believe.
I think
some people saw him as a small god, that anything he touches must go through, and Raila cannot lose. And if he loses, then he has been stolen. So BBI showed that he's just like any other person, and he can lose anything. So even the election, he can lose the same way he lost BBI.
Can you prove to us that BBI was voted or not voted? Was it voted?
Yes.
Is BBI voted for?
Voted.
You see, Mwango, you seem to have personal problems with Raila. You see,
yeah,
and you seem to have very personal problems with Raila, because even when sense is being put to you, you're still thinking that it is Raila that was being defeated when BBI was being defeated.
Yeah, that's not where they go wrong.
And it is not Ruto who won when BBI was defeated.
Yeah.
It was brought down by the court. And if you remember so well, the facts of the matter, the court did not question the content of BBI. It questioned the process.
Yeah.
So if you want sense to prevail, and if you make issues like BBI become a personal matter, then you will always lose the point. And besides, BBI was a constitutional change that was going to favor all Kenyans, and it wasn't coming with Raila's name written on it.
Neither was it only going to benefit people from his backyard.
Just the same like 2010 constitution, when it came, Ruto was on the other side of no. They were rejecting it. But when it came to election, the person who is now, who is benefiting from the deputy president for the first time under 2010 constitution is William Samoei Arap Ruto. So the constitution is not made for individuals. And if the courts pronounce themselves to something, it's not that they are pronouncing. I am, first of all, of the view, I don't usually buy the idea of casting aspersions on the courts. The courts act on evidence presented. And if you remember the first time when High Court rejected it, there was a lopsided defense from the side of the government. They didn't put a strong case at the High Court.
Yeah.
So that's why at High Court, already they threw something. So there was weak defense at that point. And so, you see, the courts do not deal with what we think or what we imagine. They deal with, this is what has been brought to us. They pronounce themselves to that, not to what Ruto thinks or what Raila thinks. So if you take a case to court and you do not, you do not present facts and you do not convince the judges, they pronounce themselves to that. So if the court pronounces itself to a case, it says it was not about defeating Raila or Ruto winning. In the first place, Ruto was non-committal on his side when all the time the BBI was going on. He didn't take a clear no side. And he didn't want to say yes. He kept on saying that you need to improve on this side. Things were improved. Then he kept saying, and then at the end of it, he said that, okay, fine, you guys, when MPs were going to vote, he said, you guys can vote according to your conscience. And what happened? This guy from Nakuru went and voted yes. And he came and said that politics is local because his constituency was gaining. So there were good things about BBI. And yes, just like any other constitution, there were bad sides about it. But the courts pronounced itself. So it is, if you have personal issues with Raila, that's okay. It's not about whether Raila is, you and I know what happened in 2007. You and I know what happened in 2013. And you and I know what happened in 2017. So when you wake up again and you say, he doesn't like being defeated. 2007, they were with Ruto in the same camp. And Ruto was the one who was actually agitating. And in fact, he was saying that Raila has won. So when you buy this propaganda, which to some extent, it advances what you want people to believe, that's okay, you can advance it, but you cannot change facts, and you cannot change facts of history. You don't have to do that. You can still appreciate history. You can appreciate that 2007, 2008 people actually fought it wasn't for no reason. They were in the same camp with Ruto. People fought. Guys died. So when young people like you wake up and then you want to twist history, to make it look like Raila has always refused, which works well for your campaign, but you are doing a disservice to the next people who are going to be listening to the historical moments. You need to be aware that when the handshake took place, Kenya was at a very bad place. So just say the truth. Campaign, get the votes, but say the truth. If you have issues with Raila, that's okay. You have a right to, but don't change the facts.
Yeah, so can I say something small, Temba?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ruto is a student politically for Moi and Raila. He knows how Raila conducts his moves. And BBI move was similar to the ODM move that really caused Kibaki problems. In ODM was back when there was a referendum between orange and bananas, as you can remember. And then the Team Orange made the ODM, which caused headache for Kibaki. It's the same move that Raila was coming with, the BBI thing, to force a referendum before the election, very sure that he will win the referendum, galvanize that support, goes with it to the general election,
Mwango,
and
I mean,
pose the problem.
Mwango,
And
hold on.
let me just finish.
Mwango, hold
Let
on.
me
No,
just
no, no, no,
finish.
no. Hold on, Mwango. I think, let's just move on to the next part because you seem,
I want to
to
bring
us
that move so that I
no,
tell you
wait,
why.
was Raila alone?
Okay, Raila knows very, very well. He was not
No,
alone,
wait. Did Raila have a handshake with himself?
No, with the Uhuru.
Whom did he have a handshake with?
With the Uhuru Kenyatta.
So, what makes you think that it was Raila pushing for it, yet they had a handshake together?
Let me just finish where I was
That's
coming.
why I'm saying you don't have to change facts. And you remember at wait.
And
At
now
Bomas,
Ruto knows this strategy.
no, wait.
Ruto knows this
Do you
strategies.
remember at Bomas of Kenya?
Yes.
What did Uhuru say?
Uhuru said so many things. So I don't know.
Do you remember him saying the way they constituted a panel, and even Ruto was in that particular? He actually recommended certain people to be in that panel.
Yes.
Yeah. So I say separate your personal issues with Raila, because when you say that Raila is the one who was pushing for BBI, you are suggesting that Raila made a handshake with himself. Raila is the one who went and constituted the BBI committee alone. Raila is the one who went and even forced Uhuru to go and meet his people. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just trying to give you moves that Raila has been doing.
No.
We also know
No, Mwango, be fair. You are the same one who has been here saying that even if we don't like someone, we need to be fair to them. You can't. You can't. What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah. So Themba, I want to
be factual.
Just conclude saying that.
No, Mwango. If you're going to go on that line of thought,
let me just finish my line of thought. I think
you're
we are
not
here
being
to
fair.
express
You're not being
ourselves.
fair. You're not being fair. You're not being fair to both sides.
Let me just finish my thoughts. I think just give me that time. I finish my thoughts, and then somebody else can come in.
No, Mwango. I think at this case, let's do this, eh?
Yes.
we
and
seem not.
If BBI could have passed, then there could not be something like Azimio la Umoja. So Azimio la Umoja has
what are your five? Okay.
Azimio la Umoja has just emerged because of
2
BBI
minutes.
laws.
2 minutes. Final thoughts so that we close the show.
My final thoughts.
2 minutes.
So, okay, the discussion has been good. We have discussed a lot, and I think that it's good always to give each and every person time to express himself. And there's something that I've noted, that when you see somebody going towards some direction, you want to cut him short. You don't want to finish the thought. So I think just give somebody time to express himself fully, and then from there you can rebut what that person says. But anyway, the discussion has been good. We have discussed a lot of things, and in fact, even the topic was about the CSS joining Raila and the 7 out of 10 Mount Kenya governors, and we said that while the CSS join Raila, they don't have a lot of bases politically, and most of them were even losers. Somebody mentioned Akinamunya. They were losers in the election. So that one means that they are not somehow strong enough on the ground. So even if they come on your camp, you don't like celebrate so much that now you have gained that ground. And some of them might be also committing political suicides, somebody like, for example, in the last election in 2017, somebody like Isaac Ruto decided to go against the wave, and the wave passed with him. So some of these governors, you see, also some of them might even be defeated in the next election. So I don't think that them joining Raila is something that now should be celebrated so much. A voter has conscience. They will vote according to conscience, not according to how somebody tells them. Like me, I normally vote with my conscience, by the way. I don't vote like now someone now vote this person. No. I go there consciously, select the leaders, and in fact, I don't vote even 6 piece. I vote leaders according to how they told me that they will do 1, 2, 3. So you can find myself voting in ODM president, but when it comes to a governor, maybe I vote somebody else. When it comes to MP, I vote somebody else. I don't go through that 6 piece thing. I vet every leader individually. And that's what Kenya should do. Kenya should vet every leader, not going through the wave or the party thing. Party things are really mess us sometimes, giving us very poor leaders. So let us vet people individually and vote them individually, not according to parties also, because parties can also sometimes mislead us and get very poor leaders. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mwango, for your thoughts. It has been nice. Everyone, at least those who were able to join us, I can see Eric Obino. Eric Obino, thank you. John Onyango, Supia Moshi, Evans Keboga, thank you. Blessed Shama, thank you. Nahash Nzaura, Wanyango Alberto, Jose Shayo, Thomas Obiero, Sami Walimuru, Sylvia Eke, Peter Maina, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on for the show. And also on YouTube, you have here Sylvia Eke, Ojera Willie, and the rest. We really appreciate always coming on for this discussion and staying tuned. Remember to subscribe to Mtembe TV and always watch for any topical issues coming up. And always look out and join. Come in and participate. Give us your comment every time. See you again tomorrow as we discuss any other rising topical issues on this forum. We have given a shout out. If we haven't mentioned you, it's not that we don't like you. It's just that probably we haven't seen your name. But we love you. Our opinion expressed here are of the individuals who have expressed them. Does not necessarily reflect those of Mutebe TV. All the honor. Thank you so much. See you again tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Bye for now. See you, Mwango. See you later.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.